a story that touched a nation's heart.
I love you so much. Please come home.
When Veronica Greens' two daughters set out to find their missing mum, they never dreamt they'd find a brother.
There he is.
And a warning for every parent. A 14-year-old chat room addict missing for 3 weeks.
He was probably 35. What?
Has JD fallen prey to the man she met on the net? Plus, the American engineer lost in the Blue Mountains.
Occasionally we'd find a log with some moss torn off it.
He dialed 000, but just how long will his phone battery last?
Chances are that, yes, come tomorrow or come the day after, you might be looking for a body.
Morning, Sarge.
It's another busy year for the officers of the Missing Persons Unit.
We have 26 outstanding this morning.
Andy, you had a 14-year-old female reported missing to...
New team member, Senior Constable Andy Drummond, is assigned the worrying case of 14-year-old runaway JD, who's been missing for 3 weeks.
She actually hasn't been seen since the 28th of September. We also have a bushwalker that's gone missing at Wentworth Falls.
Mandy Gale is off to the Blue Mountains to help in the search for American bushwalker Kevin Moran, who's been lost for 3 days without food and water.
We're just waiting a result from the rescue coordinator for that.
Senior Constable Helen Nugent from the Victoria Police is in town on business. She's been working closely on the Veronica Greens case for 4 long years and is here to give the New South Wales team some good news about an unexpected breakthrough.
Veronica went missing approximately 30 years ago.
Veronica's daughters have been looking for their mum. Instead, they found a brother they never knew existed. Their hope is that their brother will actually agree to meet them and that their long-lost mum, Veronica, will see the reunion on this program.
30 years is a long time to be missing your mum.
Excellent. We have a good day.
Thank you.
But the current cases are today's priority, and none is more urgent than missing 14-year-old schoolgirl JD.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning, Ruth. My name's Andrew. I'm ringing from Missing Persons. How are you this morning?
I'm good, thanks, and you?
Andy calls her distraught mum, Retha, who last saw her daughter weeks ago.
Have you heard anything from her at all?
Nothing, no.
Okay, she hasn't been in contact with you at all?
About last Sunday, not this one, the previous Sunday, she sent me a text message.
That short message from JD is the only contact Retha has had with her daughter in 3 weeks.
We could probably be over there by about 10:30, 11 o'clock.
Okay then.
Bye-bye.
Right, bye.
Mum and Dad have been looking around streets for her. They've tried to contact her friends and they've also tried to contact her on a mobile phone, but her mailbox is full, so at this stage, the whereabouts are unknown.
Sergeant Helen Nugent from Victoria Police has been investigating the sad case of missing mum Veronica Greens for years.
The case of Veronica Greens certainly has had some twists. I've made inquiries almost in every state in Australia, the majority of them being here in New South Wales. I've also gone up to Alice Springs, and there's still more information coming in.
So here's his old album.
Last year we met Veronica's daughters, Jackie and Penny, who've been waiting for their mum to return home for 30 years.
The night before she left, I thought I'd ask her, Mummy, would you ever leave us? She said, don't be so silly. And she never finished tucking me in, you know, and she walked out the door so fast. And the next day that was it, you know. Oh.
It's been an agonising search, made even harder by a reported sighting as recently as last year.
Everyone, I don't know, everyone else has a grandma.
One day, baby. It was my fault. It's been really bad, and I just want you to know that I'm sorry. I'm sorry, and I love you so much. Please come home.
But while searching for their mum, Helen Nugent discovered that Veronica had a secret. 46 years ago, she gave birth to a little boy whom she gave up for adoption.
Right, I've got some news. There is a male child born at that time.
Wow.
Their baby brother was adopted out before the girls were even born, and their mum never told them.
Oh my God.
So the girls made a heartfelt plea on this program to their older brother.
You do exist and you are out there, and we are really looking forward to making contact with you, and I hope that you will find it in your heart to want to have contact with us and our families. It would be really lovely to get to know our
And as it turns out, 1,500 kilometres away, their brother Stephen was watching the program.
It would be really fantastic if we could get to know you.
But Penny and Jackie would have to wait a little longer before they saw their brother.
And hopefully we'll see you.
It would take Stephen 4 more weeks to work up the courage to call his sisters. "14-year-old schoolgirl JD has now been missing for 21 days. As Andy makes his way across town to question her mum, Retha, he knows every minute is crucial.
She's run away on prior occasions, but she's always come back when she's needed money. 14-year-old girl, not much money. I'd definitely be a little bit worried about her well-being at the moment.
JD is certainly no angel. She's run away from her home in Wollstonecraft in Sydney's north 8 times in the last year.
Hello, Retha. How you going there?
I'm good, and you?
Oh, not too bad, thanks. My name's Andrew Drummond. You can call me Andy if you like, and this is Melissa Hawkins.
Retha has been ringing JD's friends around the clock, but none of them have seen or heard from her.
I found her on a few internet dating sites, and you know, people don't realise what's happening. The photos that they can take on their phones these days and just sing wherever they feel like. It's really ridiculous.
I'd like to know where this Sam gentleman is at Auburn, because I think if we can find or track him down, we'd definitely be on the right path to locating him, I think.
Meanwhile, back in Kempsey, in the case of Veronica Green, Stephen is still stunned at the news he has a new family.
He's our full brother.
When I first got told about it, I didn't know what to believe. I got like a high-speed, finding out your adoption process type thing, didn't I?
For 46 years, Stephen, who's a community worker, has been living with his family in northern New South Wales, unaware he had 2 sisters living in Victoria.
Bye, Dad.
Or that he'd even been adopted.
It's like something you churn up many different emotions at once and you're just sort of left muted in a way by it all. Gee, I don't know really how to feel about all of this. You know, I'm just not sure. It's not like I can go to anyone and say, well, when this happened to you, how did you feel?
Meanwhile, in the search for 14-year-old runaway JD, Andy and Melissa organised to meet North Sydney detectives John Cosgrove and Guy Flaherty, who've been following up the new lead on JD's boyfriend, Sam.
And it comes back, you know, this Sam Blake's a 18, 19-year-old bloke with a WRX.
I've sent off a compliance request off to the Commonwealth. They're going to get back to us hopefully pretty shortly. If she's out at Auburn Way, at least we know she's out there, so I can send her inquiry to. Yeah.
We hope that we're going to be able to identify where she is, and certainly some of the indicators are that she is accessing her phone and things like that, but we are worried, given her age.
There's a couple of pool balls down there, I think.
Andy and Melissa have taken their search to Auburn in Western Sydney, where she was last sighted with her friend Sam.
Some concerns for a young girl that's run away. She's been missing for a while, a couple of weeks. Have you seen her at all around the area or in the shops? You might have come in to get some alcohol. If you do see her, can you just give Auburn Police Station a call? Have you seen this girl at all? Did she get
Then, after hours of questioning, the breakthrough they've been hoping for.
She turned up at George Street McDonald's with some unknown friends. Now, apparently her friend Rachel said she was there and she was wearing someone else's dress. One would hope that there's some street vision there.
So police raced to check the CCTV surveillance footage from McDonald's. After 4 agonising weeks of waiting for their newfound brother Stephen to call, Jackie makes one last plea to him.
I just sat down one day, I thought, this is it, and I'm going to write a letter. And I just thought, even if he doesn't want to know about us, I wanted to just put my feelings down in writing and let him have it. So, look, the final paragraph is, anyway, Stephen, I believe that we can learn from our past, but our future is up to us. So we would dearly love to meet you and perhaps be part of your future, if you want, but this is up to you. Fond regards, your sisters, Jackie and Penny.
The letter sums it all up. And it actually had a copy of birth details and all that kind of thing that they threw in with it. So there was no disputing, no problems anyway, you know.
So the girls have convinced Stephen he is their brother. Now they just need him to call. Back in the case of missing 14-year-old JD...
We've got those tapes today, if we could get you to have a look through from the council and see if we can find JD on there. You happy with that?
That'll be excellent.
Her mum, Retha, has arrived at Harbourside Police to view the CCTV tapes.
She might be in company of other people that we can identify that may have assisted us. Might get lucky enough to pick a motor vehicle. She might have been captured getting in a particular motor vehicle. We'll follow that line of inquiry up with registration.
You know, if only I knew what she was wearing, you know.
A desperate mum scans every last frame of footage but can't see her daughter anywhere.
As strong as she thinks she might be, you're not strong in the city, and you know, and obviously you're gonna get in touch with all kinds of dodgy things, and they'll find a way to convince her of whatever the case might be, and you know, I mean, gosh.
Back in Melbourne, in the case of missing mum Veronica Green, there's still no word from Stephen.
So did you think it was pretty special that suddenly you've got an uncle?
We have never seen him before. Excited.
So the whole weekend, waiting, every time the phone rang, oh, quick, no, don't answer the phone, it might be Uncle Stephen.
Then, after 32 days, came the call that would change Jackie and Penny's lives forever.
Hi, this is Jackie. Unfortunately, we can't take your call. Hello?
Well, that scared me.
I think I know who it is. And I've gone, yes, this is Jackie. I'm thinking, I know it's you. And he said, my name's Steve. And I've gone, oh my God, I've been waiting for you to ring.
What's the tone of her voice? It sounded really...
It's just like he has known them for a long time. It was just that free speech and...
At least on the phone and that, she sort of reminded me of me, and I'm thinking, gives you a funny little weird burning feeling behind your ears, you know, sort of uncanny feeling.
At the Missing Persons Unit,
Sergeant Getty, Senior Constable Garland, Missing Persons.
Mandy receives an update from police rescue in the Blue Mountains, who are searching for missing American Kevin Moran.
What's happening?
We made contact with O yesterday
Yeah.
from an area that is called Valley of the Waters.
Kevin, who's an engineer, managed to get through to police using his mobile, but they still can't get a fix on his position.
We believe that he went into the bush on Saturday afternoon, and of course Saturday was fairly warm, and then Sunday it's come over raining. At this stage, we can't conduct a helicopter search because of the weather.
Yep.
So we're conducting a land search into that area with police rescue.
Okay then. Bye. I guess tourists come over and hear about the Blue Mountains and how beautiful they are, and off they wander and, you know, don't go prepared. My concern would be if that battery does run out. We can't call him, he can only call out. So if that battery was to run out, and especially if he's moving around, would make it really difficult.
It's now day 23 of the search for missing 14-year-old JD, but Andy and Melissa have now located her best friend, Rachel.
She may know or possibly have some information about a house in Auburn. She's been to that address.
Andy believes Rachel is still in contact with JD and needs to know where she last saw her.
Is your mum home?
Yeah, she's just downstairs.
Okay, can we come in?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
It's a worry, isn't it? Like, people come out from other countries and they have all their tourist spots they want to go and visit.
Meanwhile, in the case of missing American bushwalker Kevin Moran, Mandy and John are heading to the Blue Mountains to join the search.
Always safer with your two of you. Or
Kevin went walking alone 2 days ago. He told no one and went totally unprepared.
I just think...
At Wentworth Falls, the search has been underway since daybreak.
Track put is out. There's no actually defined track.
Superintendent Mark McCullum has been monitoring Kevin's calls for help to 000.
Generally speaking, mobile phones don't work in these areas because of the terrain. So we're just lucky that this fellow, in fact, was able to get out on a mobile phone. The signal from these mobile phones has been triangulated from a tower here and a tower here to be in this target area here.
It's a huge area to search.
There's boulders, there's trees, it was foggy and I'm lost. So that was the sort of messages that were coming to us. Nothing distinctive as to where he was, which will give us a fix of exactly where he is.
If Kevin's battery dies, and without his phone to provide a fix, another day out here could prove fatal.
Chances are that, yes, come tomorrow or come the day after, we might be looking for a body.
Meanwhile, back in Sydney, in the case of missing 14-year-old JD...
I believe that you're good friends with JD.
At first, her best friend Rachel isn't saying much at all.
We're trying to establish, with your help, just to try and find out whereabouts she may be.
But she soon realises the best thing she can do for her mate is to come clean.
Have you met Sam at all or been around to his address?
Yeah, I've been to his house about a month ago or 2 weeks ago.
We're a little bit worried about her. We might just have a little bit of a drive around today and try and locate him.
It's a good result.
Okay.
Andy and Melissa have now confirmed the connection between JD and Sam with a fresh sighting. In the case of missing bushwalker Kevin Moran, when Mandy arrives at the Blue Mountains search base, she receives some great news.
We found him. You found him.
Is he well? Is he not well?
Yes, he's fine.
Excellent.
He's fine. He's a bit wet. He's a bit tired. He's a bit scratched, but otherwise he's okay.
Well done.
Kevin's also hungry and dehydrated. He's told rescuers he walked about 40 kilometres, but he's really been wandering in circles for 3 days.
It's taken our rescue guys about 3.5 hours to get to there.
How far is that from where he left to where he is?
It's only about 2 kilometres all up, really, in real terms.
The search team has found him alive and just devising a method of retrieval.
But with bad weather closing in, it'll be tough getting Kevin out before nightfall. Meanwhile, back in Sydney's west, Rachel's trying to show police where Sam, JD's boyfriend, lives.
The road here, when we go right, that'll take us into the Auburn area with the parkside.
Across town, JD's mum, Retha, combs a nearby shopping centre. Back in the police car, Rachel's directions aren't getting any better.
Is there a highway? Because I remember we were on a highway.
Near Parramatta Road.
But then, a breakthrough for Retha.
Yesterday morning, at about 11 o'clock, there was a young girl sitting at the back in the outdoor dining area. When I approached her, she said, I'm fine, I'm just waiting for my husband. She had a pink top and blue long shorts. She had a backpack, not this much blonder, but the face very similar.
She was sitting.
She was sitting against either at the table where those three people are or the table in front of her.
What did he look like?
He was probably 35.
What?
It's a positive sighting. But who's the 35-year-old man seen with the 14-year-old? Is it the same man she met on the net?
JD, if you see this, I really miss you a lot. You know we all love you. Please come home. Please let the police know where you are. We need to know that you're safe at least. We want to help you, whatever difficulties you have. Please come home. Love you.
Up in the Blue Mountains, Polaire has arrived to rescue Kevin Moran. But the heavy cloud cover is making it hard to spot him and the rescue party who've gone in on foot.
The ground party are going to let off a flare just so Polaire know exactly where they are.
If Polaire can't see the flare, they'll have to pull out, leaving Kevin and his rescuers a 5-hour walk in the dark, or maybe another freezing night in the bush.
We'll just do a quick assessment of it and just see what we think here. And we'll get back to you, but we definitely do have the 3 persons located as a group together, and we'll just do an assessment of the recovery of all 3 persons.
As Polaire hovers below the clouds, and with the weather closing in, the window for recovery is getting shorter by the minute.
It was my fault. It was my fault.
Back in the case of missing mum Veronica Green,
And I just want you to know that I'm sorry.
Stephen finally decides it's time to put aside his fear
I love you so much. Please come.
and organises a meeting with his sisters.
Hello.
How you going, Jackie?
Are you excited?
It's going to be good fun, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I'm really looking forward to it.
I don't think there's going to be any sleep in our house tonight.
I feel like I know you really well.
I was saying something like that a little bit earlier. Even though we haven't met, I've got a bit of a bond with you just over the phone.
That it's come to this and that we're about to meet him is absolutely the best possible, ending. Yeah, result. The best possible result.
Jackie and Penny still haven't found their mum, but their reunion with their brother is only hours away. Up in the Blue Mountains, after 3 days in freezing conditions, Kevin Moran is finally on board Polaire. But now there's another drama unfolding.
Just orientating, I suppose, just a bit of the weather, finding out where the actual oval is.
The clouds are so low, the pilot can't see the landing site. He's virtually flying blind.
We just got to guide him in by watching where they are and which way they're travelling, all sort of stuff.
Probably fine, just with the cloud about. We don't have time to muck around, so we're just going to go straight over to the golf course and try and pick somewhere there suitable just to offload these 2 so we can get back into recover the other 2.
Rescue 84, copy that. They're going to go to the golf course instead. They don't have time.
It's a frustrating moment. As police race to the golf course, this rescue is far from over. Back in Melbourne, in the ongoing case of missing mum Veronica Green, it's the night before Stephen's arrival. For the first time, he's about to meet his sisters, Jackie, Penny, and their families.
I thought the Yeti seemed quite friendly.
Jackie still remembers her mum walking out 30 years ago and realises the pain it must have caused her.
I think there's no doubt she loved us. We know things like that she cried all day at work. So, we've been told that. And all our family and her family tell us that she adored us, give anything to see her. We just got to, hope that she sees us together and wants to come home and be part of that. You have a sweet dream. Good girl.
Polaire finally lands carrying rescued American bushwalker Kevin Moran.
You must be Kevin.
Yes.
Nice to meet you, Mandy.
Meet you.
It's John.
How you going? Sergeant Whelan, pleased to meet you, hey?
You look great, considering.
Kevin might look all right, but he's shivering under his borrowed jacket, and there's the possibility that he's in shock and suffering hypothermia.
We'll just do a quick check over this to make sure you're all right before we do anything else.
He made a platform for the night, and he was a bit cold, and we cooked him up a feed, and
Oh, you good?
and got him.
Yeah. This is this morning you cooked him up?
sustenance. Yeah.
That's great.
We got to him about lunchtime, so
So he obviously just intended to go for the day.
day trip. Yeah.
A one-day trip that turned into a 3-day nightmare.
Won't be doing that again.
It's clear to everyone how incredibly lucky Kevin has been to survive.
Did you have any food with you?
I had one muesli bar.
Another Another 12 or 24 hours might have been a different story.
I'm amazed at how well he's come through it all. Apart from a few scratches on his hands, he's fine. I worry for him, though, maybe this afternoon, because he's got no family here, his family are overseas. If he was to sort of sit around, that's when it might all hit him. So we've given him the number of a support service that we use, and hopefully he'll be in touch with that and he can share his experience with somebody. But, yeah, what he's been through, amazing. Amazing. I couldn't do it. I wouldn't come out that good, I don't think. But case closed.
How are you feeling, Pen? I'm starting to get
Down in
excited.
Melbourne, a new chapter is about to begin in Jackie and Penny's search for their mum, Veronica.
Landed. It's landed. Hurry. We better hurry.
On board this plane is some pretty important cargo. The brother they have never met.
I just feel emotional. Don't know why. I was really excited. Now suddenly I'm just feeling really emotional.
It's a life-changing moment that Jackie and Penny never imagined.
There he is. That's him, definitely.
The reunion Veronica Greens' daughters have been waiting for. Will JD's mum ever hear from her daughter again?
I'm very scared that she might put herself in danger.
Grandfather James McGrath was last seen walking his dog. 3 days later, he's still lost in this dense scrub.